You know, sometimes a country doesn't openly say, we don't want foreigners. Instead, they just make everything harder. Visas, housing, residency, the whole process, until people simply stop trying. Hey, this is Advent Traveler and I'm back again with a new video. And in 2025, a surprising number of countries are doing exactly that, quietly tightening their rules without making big announcements. So today, let's talk about 8 countries that aren't banning foreigners outright, but they're definitely making life much tougher than before. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and let's get into it. Canada used to be the dream for foreigners. But now, the landscape is shifting, and it's not as welcoming as it once was. They've extended their foreign homebuyer ban into 2025, making it even harder for non-citizens to get a foothold in the property market. You basically cannot buy property unless you're a citizen or permanent resident. Even if you've lived in Canada for years, if you don't have the right status, you're out of luck. On top of that, immigration is being slowed down because Canada says it needs to protect housing supply. Processing times are getting longer and quotas are being tightened. No official ban on foreigners, but the message is clear. Please wait. We have problems at home. The government is prioritizing locals, and the dream of moving to Canada is now filled with more hurdles than ever. For many, this means putting plans on hold, rethinking their future, or even looking elsewhere. Canada's doors aren't closed, but they're definitely harder to open in 2025. New Zealand is beautiful, peaceful, and extremely expensive. But beneath the postcard-perfect scenery, the country is quietly making it harder for foreigners to settle in. In 2025, New Zealand increased requirements for skilled migrants, raised income thresholds, and made it more difficult to qualify for work visas. The government also kept their strict ban on foreign homebuyers, making it nearly impossible for most non-residents to purchase property. Life here still looks relaxed and welcoming, but the rules are clear. Only those who truly stand out are welcome to stay. New Zealand now wants only extremely high-earning migrants, top professionals, and those who can contribute significantly to the economy. For everyone else, the door is quietly closing. Japan is famous for its hospitality and rich culture, drawing millions of tourists every year. But when it comes to long-term foreign residents, the story is changing. While visitors are still encouraged to explore, settling down is becoming more complicated. In 2025, Japan introduced stricter renewal rules and new monitoring policies for foreign workers, especially those in low-skilled positions. These changes mean more paperwork, more frequent check-ins, and higher standards for language and integration. Japan isn't banning foreigners outright, but it's definitely tightening the requirements for who gets to stay permanently. For many, the dream of making Japan a long-term home is now facing more hurdles than ever before. As the country balances its aging population with concerns about cultural preservation, the path to permanent residency is becoming a steeper climb for foreigners hoping to call Japan home. Iceland hasn't outright banned foreigners, but in 2025 the country is making it much harder for outsiders to stay and explore as freely as before. The government's new nature protection rules are a direct response to the overwhelming surge in tourism over the past decade, which has put a real strain on Iceland's fragile landscapes and small communities. Now, there are strict daily limits on how many people can visit the most popular natural attractions. Think the Blue Lagoon, Gullfoss, and Thingvellir. If you don't book your slot in advance, you might not get in at all. These quotas are enforced with digital check-ins and on-site staff, so spontaneous trips are basically a thing of the past. On top of that, Iceland has raised the fees for long-stay visas, especially those aimed at digital nomads and remote workers. The new costs, plus stricter documentation requirements, mean it's no longer a budget-friendly haven for people hoping to live and work here for months at a time. The message from Iceland is clear: protect the land first, welcome visitors second. If you want to experience Iceland, plan ahead, expect higher costs, and don't overstay your welcome. Norway is known for having some of the strictest immigration requirements in all of Europe. For years, it's been a country that sets the bar high for anyone hoping to move there, whether for work, study, or to join family. And in 2025, they made it even tougher by raising the income requirements, especially if you're trying to reunite with family or work there as a foreigner. The new rules mean you'll need to prove a much higher salary than before, and the documentation process is more detailed than ever. This change is hitting both skilled workers and families hard. Many people who might have qualified in previous years are now finding themselves shut out, even if they have job offers or relatives in Norway. Unless you already have a high-paying job lined up, Norway is basically saying, sorry, not this year. For many, this means putting dreams on hold or looking elsewhere in Europe for opportunities. Norway's message is clear. Only the most qualified and those who can truly afford it will have a shot at making Norway their new home in 2025. Singapore doesn't really dislike foreigners. It just wants a very specific kind. In recent years, the city-state has been quietly tightening its doors, making it clear that only the best and brightest are truly welcome. With its new 2025 compass system, foreigners are graded almost like it's a university exam. Points are awarded for education, skills, and salary, and only those who score high enough get a shot at a work pass. If you don't meet the salary or skill requirements, you're out. Even experienced professionals are finding it harder to qualify as the bar keeps rising. There's no official ban, but Singapore is definitely saying only elite talent is welcome. For everyone else, the message is clear. It's time to look elsewhere. As 2025 approaches, Singapore's reputation as a global hub remains, but the path in is narrower than ever. If you're not at the top of your field, Singapore's new rules might just leave you on the outside looking in. Switzerland has always been known for its order and discretion, but when it comes to immigration, the country is quietly resolute. Strict quotas for non-EU foreigners have been in place for years, and in 2025, those quotas were reduced even further to prioritize Swiss citizens and long-term residents. For those outside the EU, the odds of securing a Swiss work visa are now slimmer than ever. Even highly skilled professionals are finding it tough, as companies face more hurdles to hire from abroad. Switzerland's approach is quiet, polite, and efficient. But make no mistake, it's firm. If you're hoping to move here for work in 2025, be prepared for a real challenge. The Philippines used to be easy for retirees and long-stay foreigners, with the SRRV retirement visa offering a simple path to residency and a laid-back lifestyle. But in 2025, new safety and fraud prevention rules have made the SRRV process much slower and more complicated, especially for applicants under 50. Now, there are higher financial deposit requirements, stricter background checks, and more in-person interviews. Some applicants are even being asked for proof of local health insurance and police clearances from every country they've lived in. These changes have led to longer wait times and more rejections, making it much harder for foreigners to retire in the Philippines. The government isn't advertising these barriers, but they're definitely tightening things up behind the scenes. If you're planning to move abroad in 2025, make sure you stay updated. Visa rules are changing faster than ever. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and come join the Advent Traveler membership. See you in the next video, my friends.